I wish I had more time. That's an excuse that I've used so many times, and I'm sure that you have as well, because most people do. I wish I had more time, and if I had more time, I would do so much more. Maybe I'd read a book that I've always wanted to read. I would go and actually work out, or I would accomplish so many things that I say that I want to accomplish, but I don't actually do. But I've actually stopped using that as an excuse. And it's because of this. I took a look at the type of people who don't use that as an excuse. People like this. Now, I'm not even sure who I'm going to put up in that corner yet. Probably people like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and all of these people who have done so much with their life, with their time. And if you think about people like that, they are not the type of people who are going to complain about the lack of time being the reason that they didn't get things done, because they got things done. And if they do mention or opine about the limits of the time in a day, it's not for the same reasons you and I do. They don't worry and fret about the fact they don't have enough time because they're not able to get anything accomplished. When they think about it, they think that if they had an extra 2 hours in a day, well then maybe they would have started 12 companies instead of 8. Maybe they'd have written their 20th book instead of just 16. They would have solved the entire world hunger problem instead of just working to tackle the hunger in South America or Africa or wherever. That's how they look at it, and it's because they know that they've maximized time. See, time is the most valuable resource we have. Anybody who says time is money is grossly inflating the value of money. Time is the one thing that we all have, but none of us actually possess, because it's here and it's gone. And all you're left with is the residue. What did you do with the time that you had? So I say all that because I have a couple of tips for you, for how you can get more time. Or more honestly, how you can make more with the time that you already have. These are 3 simple tips, 3 things that I am currently trying to use in my own life, and that I am using in my own life, to get more done, to use the time that I have more effectively. So, the first tip, very simple. Wake up half an hour early. Now, I know ideally we'd all wake up several hours earlier and go and get a ton of stuff done before we ever have to go to work or do whatever it is that our day demands of us. But that's not necessarily realistic for most people, at least not right away. So I say, give yourself an extra 30 minutes in the morning. And here's why. Because generally speaking, we set our alarms to give us just barely enough time to roll out of bed, throw some clothes on, take a shower, probably in that order sometimes, which is why we're such a mess. Maybe eat some food, grab some coffee, jump in the car, and pray we don't hit traffic because we still left the house late. That's not a great way to start your day. That's not a great way to feel like you're excited about the day. It's a great way to go, oh, Lord, I hope I don't completely fail today. But if you had an extra 30 minutes in the morning, you could do a lot with it. You could wake up without that panicked feeling. You could exercise, maybe, which is a great way to start the morning. I absolutely recommend that. You could maybe read a book. Maybe get your day started a little slower. You can take your time taking a shower and eating some food and drinking that cup of coffee. And then when you leave the house, you can leave a couple minutes earlier so that your drive to work doesn't have to be so stressful. You can feel like you're more in control of your day. And that's huge for making you more productive, more excited about your day. So that's the first one. Number 2, keep a journal. I started journaling on my 28th birthday. I've wanted to do it for years, and then I haven't done it. And then finally on my 28th birthday, I said, I'm going to journal every single day for an entire year. And then I got done with that year, and I've been keeping it up this year as well. And the reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to try to slow time down, which is kind of silly, but I felt like I was living so much for the weekends or events. I would let weeks, months blur by because I was really excited about this one day that was coming up in 3 weeks from now. And so I'd just write off the whole 3 weeks leading up to it. And then I'd get there and it was over, and then I'd go, what did I just do? What did I just spend the last month doing? Really, not much. But so I started to journal every single night, and what that does is it challenges me, and it would challenge you, to do something with your day worth writing down. Because there's not a whole lot worse than getting done with your day and sitting down to write and realizing I didn't do anything. I didn't pursue anything that I was passionate about. I didn't do anything with the hours that I had today. And it encourages you to say, I'm not okay with that. I'm going to change that. So create a journal and challenge yourself that every night you want to be able to write down that you got something done, you accomplished something worthwhile with your day. It will be a massive transformation for the way that you think about your time and the way that you spend your time. The third quick tip, and this is probably the hardest one, and that is set an alarm on your phone for 2-3 hours before you go to bed. And the alarm simply says, turn your phone off, turn the TV off, and create. The last 3 hours, 4 hours in the day, 2 hours in the day are the most wasted time that we have. We think we've just been, watching YouTube videos for a couple minutes and we've blown the last 3 hours, last 2 hours on pointless, useless things that we don't really care about. And then we try to roll into bed and we've got all this random junk running through our minds, and it's not really gonna help us. We're not really gonna be able to feel good about our day. But if you take the last couple hours and instead you say, I'm gonna try to do something creative with this time. I'm gonna try to create something. I'm gonna try to invest this time in something that I care about. It completely changes the way that your day ends, and also the way that the next day begins. Because if you take that last couple hours and you paint that painting you've wanted to do, or you work on that project at your house that you've wanted to work on, or you read a book, or you work on learning a language, or any of these things that you can do to spend your time on that you really care about, then when you go to bed that night, hopefully, and journal, you're gonna be excited about it. Your mind is gonna be filled with the feeling that you accomplished something. And it's gonna make you want to do more. It's gonna make you excited about getting up the next day and doing something that you care about. And it's gonna make you appreciate the time that you do actually currently have. So, those are 3 quick, easy tips for what you can do right now, today, changes you can make to make the most of the time that you have. And if you make those 3 changes, then you're gonna find yourself wanting to make more. You're gonna find yourself wanting to challenge yourself to do more with your time. And you'll find yourself using the excuse that you don't have enough time less and less. So, go for it.